Hey you, it's Mo. Happy Tom Ford Tuesday. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a requested video to compare my Tom Ford eyeshadow palettes. And now that I have them all by color story organized, I can see where this is going to be super helpful. Because they can start to look a little similar and kind of the same. So this request came from a fellow creator here, which I am a huge fan of. I love her channel. I'm going to have her linked up in the cards and down below. Ebony Nikita Okiki. Yes, girl. Thank you so much for requesting this video. So she said, can you do a video comparing all of your pinky rose tone Tom Ford quads? I would love to see it. Or even the blues, the purples, the neutrals, and other similar color stories. Like, yes, this is going to be fun. We're going to swatch, we're going to see, and let's compare these Tom Ford eye quads. Let's go ahead and get started. And no, you don't get away from a Mo video with being reminded to hydrate. Let's do that, shall we? Thought you got off for a minute there, didn't you? So it's Tom Ford Tuesday. You know the full face is Tom Ford. I'll have everything listed and linked for you down below in the description box. But on the eyes today, I am wearing Seductive Rose. She is a newer addition to my collection, and I kind of felt the need to be a little glimmery and shimmery today. So that is what I am wearing on my eyes. I think this is a quite glamorous palette and very soft all at the same time. Anyways, before we get into all of these comparisons, please take a moment to give today's video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that little notification bell. All right, so starting off with the pinky rosy tones from the Tom Ford collection. I have here Virgin Orchid, which is this one, which is a wet dry formula, and then I have Insolent Rose. Side by side, of course the formulation is different, but the color story is very similar. Let's see. So let's start off with Virgin Orchid. So pretty. So pretty. Okay, I think today we are going to take off the bracelet because I'm going to need as much space as possible. All right, so here we have Virgin Orchid. You guys, you won't believe it, but I actually have makeup wipes. I never use makeup wipes, but I knew that this is going to be a little heavy duty today, so we're going to be using makeup wipes. Okay. And then Insolent Rose. Well, these two shades right here are quite similar. Okay, here we are. Virgin Orchid, Insolent Rose. First glance, you can see the similarities, but after we've swatched them, they have their differences. So starting with the lightest shade, in Virgin Orchid, it's definitely more of a frosty, glimmering finish versus the Insolent Rose, which I can say is like a satin. Okay. We followed up with that second shade, which I feel of the two would be their special shade. Let me show you what I mean. The special shades. This is the one from the wet dry from Virgin Orchid, and the Insolent Rose, which is more of the traditional eyeshadow formulation. More of the glimmery shimmery shade, okay? Shimmery shade. Looking at them, they're quite similar, okay? What we're going to see, though, upon swatching and using an application is their finishes are quite different. So the Insolent Rose is more of that traditional glittery glimmer shade versus the wet dry formulation, which is more of a satin finished product. So this is Virgin Orchid, Insolent Rose. Then I think is where we kind of shift off a little bit. Now these two lavender shades, this one is a bit darker than this one. This one is more of that like pastel-y type of purple tone. But overall they're quite similar with their differences. Could you get similar looks from the two? Absolutely. But if I personally had to choose between the two, I would go with this one, the Virgin Orchid, for a couple of reasons. Formulation is a preferred formulation, the wet dry, and you have the darker tone here that is going to give you a little bit more variety. And what I mean by that is you can get more dramatic looks, you can get more smoky looks, but then you can also keep it soft and pretty by using the lighter shades on their own and using the darker shade just with a lighter hand. And it's not to say you are not going to be able to create beautiful looks from Insolent Rose. This one is just going to be a lot softer overall. Now I have a few Tom Ford quads, okay? And something that I will say is they will have 2 or 3 shades out of the 4 that look exactly the same. So similar, so comparable. But they'll come out with a new palette and then they'll just throw in a splash of color or throw in a completely different color and you're like, oh, yes. Now here's what I mean. Here's Soleil D'Hiver and here's Rose Prisme. Looking at them, you can see the similarities, but then there's like a little thrown in different color. Okay, let me swatch and show you what I mean. All right, here is Rose Prisme. Okay, and Soleil D'Hiver. So this is what I meant. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. And then the last 2, it's just a slight tone difference. But again, Rose Prisme compared to Soleil D'Hiver. I mean, so far, overall, we've got a quite similar color story, but there are their differences. I've got First Frost here. This is a like, I love this eyeshadow palette so much. But I think I'll be able to fit it. But yeah, I think I'll be able to fit it right here so we can go along with this color scheme. All right, First Frost. They all kind of start to look the same, don't they? I mean, you can see the different tones and variations here and there, yes. Naked Pink. Let's check her out. This one is very soft and very, very light. You know, it kind of goes along with what else we've got going on here. Oh, we're going to try to fit you right here. I think the major pink in this one is just this right here. All right, so here's our first set of comparisons. Our more pinky, light, super light tones. Well, let's warm things up. So I switched my lens and I brought you a little bit closer. Shall we continue? Got Nude Dip and Sous Le Sable and Metallust. So these are just a little bit warmer with a little bit of a hint of pink, neutral-esque to them, like only Tom Ford could do, okay? Like, I mean, let's start off with Nude Dip. This is neutral with warmth and a little touch of pink. This is my favorite. Like this shade right here, it's got a little touch of pink to it. You see that? So that's what I mean where I say it's warm, but it's neutral with a hint of pink. So this is Nude Dip. Hello, beautiful. Hello, hello. And Sous Le Sable she's new to my collection, but I felt the color story was similar-esque to Nude Dip with that touch of pink but warmth. Okay? Very, very creamy. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Ooh. So let's see. Super creamy. Oh my goodness. Wow. So Nude Dip, Sous Le Sable. Now let's do Metallust. All right, so Nude Dip, Sous Le Sable, and Metallust. There we go. So these I definitely find to have a lot more warmth to them with those little hints of pink. Next up are the purples. I don't really feel the entire quads are comparable per se, but there's purples to them that I think we should compare. Okay, starting off with Pretty Baby and Seductive Rose. I like to categorize these as like purple pinks. And remember, we are wearing Seductive Rose today. So let's start off with that one. That's Seductive Rose. That was not a good swatch. It's like right where my wrist. There we go. Okay. So there's Seductive Rose. And I will say, I know you see it too. These two, it's kind of hard to see what the difference really is. They're very similar. You can't really see one more purple, one more pink. They're very similar. There's Pretty Baby. Pretty Baby is definitely more intense and vibrant compared to Seductive Rose. That's my shade right here. Do you see this? I have collected this and held on to this for a really long time, but for you, I will swatch her. This is the Lilac Dream. Yeah, it's as it sounds. It's a lilac lover's dream. Let's take a moment. Ooh, okay. I'm ready. The hues of purple are beautiful. Yes, they are. African Violet. Look at that purple. African Violet and Pretty Baby are Tom Ford's more colorful eyeshadows, but still so wearable. No. So for all of you that just enjoy the beautiful color purple, here you go. Here you go. Now I do have one more quad with a purple in it. The color story doesn't really compare, but I am going to share it with you. Badass. See, it's got that one rich, deep eggplant. These are so intense. Look at that purple. Of all of the purples that I've shared with you so far, this is definitely the deepest. I find this to be like a true eggplant. Right there. So that is badass. So here are all of our purpley tones from Tom Ford. I've got some warm burgundy shades to share with you. Let's start off with a classic and a lot of your favorites, Body Heat. I definitely don't use this one as much as I know I should. Willingly admitting to it. But it is a beautiful palette, and you know, wet dry is my favorite formulation. Look at that. Oh, just look at that beautifulness. Yes, please. Here is Mercurial. I can't hold Mercurial up all the way because we had a little tragedy. The two bottom shades fell out. It happens. But in comparison to Body Heat, I do want to swatch these side by side for you. So that's Mercurial. Here we have Cognac Rose. This one's got the gold and the burgundy in it. Very pretty. Here we are with Cognac Rose. Love that gold. And then these two burgundy-esque shades. This one's like a little bit more brown. And this one is like more burgundy. This one I've had in my collection and I never used it. This is Burnished Ombre. It's really pretty, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't use it. I don't really have a reason or an excuse. I'm just letting you know. So let's swatch her for the first time. Oh, she's creamy. Oh, Monique, why haven't you used this? Girl, are you out of your mind? Don't answer that. Wow, this color right here. This is like a true cranberry. Like it's like a pinky red with depth. And oh, okay, let's. So here's Burnished Ombre. That's very pretty. Right here. We all have that super light shade from all of the palettes. So here are our burgundy eggplant warm-esque palettes. Body Heat, Mercurial, Cognac Rose, and Burnished Ombre. I need this shade right here all over my lid. That is so pretty. I have to say right now, next date night, I am wearing this shade right here. Because I feel like that could let me do a nice monochromatic look with like a pink lip. Yeah. So my next date night look has been picked. Here are our, what I would have said to be the more burgundy, purpley, warmer tones. So for these quads, these are the golds, the browns, the warms kind of tones. So I'm going to start off with one of my personal favorites. This is Desert Fox. You guys know how much I love Desert Fox, especially it not being wet dry. It's still just so good. I reach for it all the time. Warmness, golden goodness. Perfect for the everyday. Perfect for when you want to, you know, vamp it up a little bit more dramatique. Yes. Love this palette. Look at that color story. Like, this is hard to beat. It's a basic color story, but it hits it. Yes. Let's compare Leopard Sun to Desert Fox. I've never had much luck with this yellow here from Leopard Sun. So that's kind of why I was so happy when I got on so well with Desert Fox. But here they are. Our golden goddess, Suspicion. Love her. We love her. So look at that golden goodness. So here is Suspicion, Leopard Sun, and Desert Fox. Tiger Eye. Figured I want to throw this one in the mix because it's got the warmth, the bronzy, the golds. Yeah. This is from the newer formulation, the cream. Look at that. Ooh. So here is Tiger Eye. Ooh, do you see all that warm, beautiful goodness? Yes. And I just wanted to throw this one in there. This is another one from the newer formulation, the cream. This is Rose Topaz. It's not very warm, but it's got some golds in it, and I just wanted to throw it in here. And let's see how it compares. Because it wasn't pink enough to put with the pinks, and it wasn't purple. Anyhow, here she is. This is another great one. I really love, I really like the new cream formulation. The color stories are beautiful. I really want more from this formulation. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So we swatched and we compared. Yes, we did. Happy Tom Ford Tuesday, everyone. A special thank you to Ebony for requesting this video. Don't forget to check out her channel. I'll have it linked down below. Don't forget to give today's video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Stay beautiful, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.